It didn't come with trumpets or flashing cameras. There was no balcony moment, no sweeping proclamation. But something significant has been unfolding behind the velvet curtains of royal tradition, quietly, steadily, and unmistakably. Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, once overlooked by headline writers and royal commentators, is now stepping into a role few saw coming. Not just as a working royal, not just as a supportive spouse, but as a cornerstone of the monarchy's future. And the timing of her rise may be no coincidence. Welcome to Crownverse. If you're new here, we uncovered the silent shifts and hidden symbols that shape the royal family's power. Subscribe now and join us as we follow the Duchess of Edinburgh's journey from royal outsider to strategic insider. Let's begin. When Sophie Rhys-Jones married Prince Edward in 1999, she entered the royal family at a time of deep transformation. The House of Windsor was still reeling from the tragic death of Princess Diana. The Queen was facing a wave of criticism about royal relevance, and the nation itself was struggling to redefine what monarchy meant in a new millennium. Sophie arrived not as a celebrity or aristocrat, but as a career woman. A PR executive, independent and self-made, she was welcomed, if cautiously, by the press. Her early years in the royal spotlight were not without missteps. A now infamous sting operation by a tabloid reporter pretending to be a sheik tested her discretion and led to a reshuffling of her business interests. The message from the palace was clear. Loyalty and silence were prized above ambition. And Sophie listened. In the years that followed, she refined her role with deliberate precision. She withdrew from commercial activity, focused on royal duties, and, most importantly, kept a low profile. While the tabloids swarmed around other members of the family, Sophie remained under the radar. But behind that quiet exterior, she was earning trust. The Queen, known for her skepticism towards outsiders, reportedly grew close to Sophie. Sources say the two spent considerable time together, riding horses, sharing quiet lunches, bonding on a mutual appreciation for duty over drama. And that trust, once earned, would become her greatest strength. When Prince Philip passed away in 2021, observers noted something unexpected. At key events and commemorations, Sophie was no longer on the sidelines. She was seated closer, quoted more. Her voice, still gentle, was now being heard. It wasn't long before the press began calling her the Queen's Rock. But it was more than grief that pulled her into prominence. As King Charles ascended the throne in 2022, one of his most pressing challenges was navigating a streamlined monarchy. With Harry and Meghan stepping back, Prince Andrew disgraced, and Princess Anne already at full capacity, there were fewer senior royals than ever before. Someone had to step up. And Sophie did. She began accepting more public engagements, often focusing on causes that mirrored those of the late Queen and Prince Philip: eye health, children's welfare, the Commonwealth. But she also ventured into areas others avoided, visiting war zones, confronting gender-based violence, standing alongside survivors. Her demeanor remained measured. No political outbursts, no viral interviews, no dramatic photo ops. But her presence was growing. One visit, one handshake, one speech at a time. Then came the new titles. On March 23, 2023, on Prince Edward's 59th birthday, King Charles bestowed upon him the title of Duke of Edinburgh, a deeply symbolic act. The title had once belonged to Prince Philip and had been expected by many to pass to himself. But in honoring his younger brother, the king was sending a message. This generation's service would be recognized. And with that title, Sophie became the Duchess of Edinburgh. It may sound ceremonial, but in royal tradition, titles carry weight. The Duchess of Edinburgh is more than a name. It is an inheritance of legacy. It ties Sophie directly to the memory of Prince Philip and the Queen's era of stability. It also positions her as something else, a royal elder. Not in age, but in role. In a monarchy with fewer working royals, Sophie now carries a growing share of the crown's daily visibility. She represents the family abroad, she welcomes dignitaries, she fills the void left by others who have exited or been sidelined. And her work is not going unnoticed. This year, she took over patronage of two organizations that once belonged to Prince Philip, Planned International UK and the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Both are focused on youth, safety, and global development, issues she has supported for over a decade. But it's not just her assignments that reveal her rising role. It's how she carries them out. Sophie has quietly earned a reputation as one of the most prepared members of the royal family. Staffers report that she reads her briefs, asks detailed questions, and often follows up with organizations long after an event ends. Unlike others who rely on celebrity or nostalgia, Sophie's strength is consistency. And in the eyes of the public, that consistency is paying off. Polling data shows that public favorability toward Sophie has steadily risen in recent years. She is now one of the more trusted faces of the monarchy, a reassuring presence in times of upheaval. It helps that she has never courted the spotlight. In an age of social media statements and reality royalty collisions, Sophie's discretion feels almost radical. She doesn't give interviews, she rarely comments, she allows her actions, not her narrative, to shape perception. But perhaps most crucially, Sophie represents a bridge between old and new. She embodies the discipline of the Queen's generation and the relatability the monarchy now needs. She's formal, but approachable, loyal, but modern. A woman who raised her children without royal titles, who shops on her own, who has kept her marriage to Prince Edward largely shielded from drama. In many ways, she's become what the monarchy quietly needs, a steady hand during uncertain times. And those times are indeed uncertain. As King Charles navigates a monarchy facing unprecedented scrutiny amid health rumors, international pressures, and internal divisions, the need for reliability has never been more acute. Princess Catherine, beloved but currently out of the spotlight due to illness. Camilla, visible but controversial. Anne, hardworking but stretched thin. Into this landscape, Sophie offers something increasingly rare: balance. She may never sit on a throne, she may never trend on social media, but her role is no less vital. Because in royal life, not every power move is loud. Some are made in silence, in service, in small, repeated acts of grace. And that's where Sophie thrives. So what does the future hold? Some speculate she may take on even more responsibilities, possibly becoming a key figure in royal education or diplomatic outreach. Nothing is confirmed, but the trajectory is clear. Her name now appears in press releases once reserved for more senior royals. Her schedule is busier. Her voice, when heard, is taken seriously. And most importantly, her example speaks volumes. In a world that rewards spectacle, Sophie's rise reminds us that substance still matters. She may have started as an outsider, but through decades of patience, service, and quiet resilience, she has become something far more enduring, a steady flame in a flickering court. And as the royal family moves into its next chapter, it may be that Sophie, the Duchess who said little, is the one whose presence says the most. If you're still with us, thank you for taking this journey through the quiet rise of Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. Her story isn't loud, it's not tabloid ready, but it's real. And in the world of royalty, that might be the most powerful story of all. Subscribe to Crownverse now for more true, grounded insights from inside royal history. We don't chase gossip, we uncover legacy. And you won't want to miss what comes next.